Hello again. I want to share a key takeaway from our readings on Jean Piaget and discuss how these theories came to life every day in my classroom. After reviewing the articles on child development and Piaget's biography, the concept that resonated most deeply with me and my classrooms as Piaget view of learning. So historically, people often view children as miniature adults. so who just knew less? And Piaget changes this thought by providing the children actually think differently than adults. According to the readings, Piaget believed that children take an active role in the learning process, acting much like little scientists as they perform experiments, make observations, and learn about the world. Sorry, I was reading my notes here. So instead of passively receiving information, children rely on cognitive building blocks of knowledge. These articles explain that kids interact with the world around them. They continually add new knowledge, build upon existing knowledges, and adapt previously held ideas to accommodate new information. Um, so, as a special education teacher in a self-contained elementary classroom, these little scientists concepts make sense in my daily instructions. So, because of these developmental delays, my students don't exactly fit into stages of Piaget developmental theory. So, a 10-year-old student might be in the late sensory motor or early pre-operational stage. So, however, while the timeline might not match, the method of how they learn is exactly as Piaget described. So, to give you a more realistic example, I can teach the concept of addition by simply writing numbers on a board and expecting my students to understand, than the abstract logic. So, because of this, cognitive stages requires concrete and sensory experiences. Their learning must be completely hands-on. So recently, I had a student of mine who was struggling in the concept of more. To give him an example, I had to set up an experiment for him. And I gave him 3 physical red blocks to touch and count them. So then I handed him 2 blocks and had them physically push them together into a large pile. So by changing the way he learns, he became my little scientist. So he saw the pile getting larger and got better understanding. Then combining the groups creates more. So he wasn't just memorizing a math fact; he was understanding additional physically and visually. So that helps a lot with my intermediate autism class. So this brings up a question for my specific settings. How can we accurately assess the cognitive stages of students who are nonverbal or have severe expressive language delays? So if a student internally understands the logical concept but lacks the verbal ability to explain it, how do we measure these cognitive levels without mislabeling them for their language deficit? So here it is. Bye.